Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. HarlequinCoHO here, and I've got a great little game here for you that I just grabbed off of the GameReplays.org forums. In the northern position on this map, we have Alfons. I just looked him up. He's currently rank 6 with 900 and something skill point rating, basically, and rank 6 for defensive players. Got a really good looking defense. And of course, down here in the bottom, if you didn't just notice from chat, his opponent today is going to be the one, the only Inverse. If you guys haven't already checked out Inverse's page, he's got some excellent commentaries and some excellent first person videos and that sort of thing. He's at the top of my other channels list, so go ahead and check him out. Great player, great commentator, and a real pleasure to watch in this game. Really skilled guy all across the board. He's currently playing on just his straight up Inverse account, which is rank 3 armor commander with 800 and something skill rating points at the moment. And let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So as you can see, Alfons. I've waited for some time now, well aware of Inverse's status out there, and apparently chomping at the bit to get a game. So let's see what both players are going to do right away here. So you'll see, and I do like this strategy, and it looks like both of them do this. Run out and grab the munitions point right off the bat, even though it's disconnected, and then once your second unit comes out here and grabs a strategic point, you just start getting munitions right away. Both players doing the exact same thing because they know that they want munitions early on as much as they can get, so they're most likely going to grab this disconnected munitions point and then connect it up here with the strategic point. Right away, we do see Volksgrenadiers coming out for Alfons. He has pretty standard, the standard good Volks spamming kind of stuff. 16% health. Reinforcement cost by 30%, got the good one there, and increased weapon accuracy by 9%. Likewise, you'll see the same move coming out here from Inverse, and similar abilities. He does have the increased weapon accuracy by 6%, received damage by 6%, and sight of rifleman by 20%. So, let's see what else is going on here. Just kind of capping straight across the left and the top. We're going to see just kind of a normal left and right split here. And of course, since it looks like Inverse is setting himself up for the right-hand side of the map pretty well, that's going to be very advantageous for him. Because even though you can stand off quite well left and right, obviously the guy on the right has got 2 victory points to the guy on the left 1 victory point. So it's a wonderful kind of uphill position to be in. Right away, we can see both of these Volksgrenadiers just kind of charging on out, not hesitating for even 1 second. Inverse pulls these these engineers right out of the way, and they take a single casualty. Meanwhile, just kind of capping around here with these Pioneers. You'll see the Pioneers do have the 16% increased health, and these Engineers, as soon as they stop retreating, let me take a look at some more Army items for you there. We do have Capture Point 20%, Minesweeper Detection Radius, and Health Regeneration. So pretty standard there, no rifles, but otherwise pretty standard. And like I said, Inverse quick to cap the northern victory point here, while his Engineers are just going to go around and kind of sweep up the rest of this. Moving kind of to a central position here because he knows he's going to need to, put some pressure on the left here. I do like the kind of overarching strategy that you'll see throughout this matchup here is that Inverse really wants to hold the right-hand side, but he wants to put significant pressure on the left-hand side just to force Alfons to continue having to defend the left so that he doesn't have any time to attack what is usually a relatively weakly defended right-hand side. But you can see that Inverse keeps the pressure up so much that Alfons has a really hard time finding opportunities to stab out towards the right. Meanwhile, let's take a look around the map. I'm just going to see Venerable Volksgrenadiers are out here. Again, these guys are cheaper, and eventually as you upgrade them, they move quicker and things like that, so brings them up to speed. Heavy machine gun team, just straight up plain old heavy machine gun team coming out here for Alfons. And Berger's Panzer Pioneers just came out into the field. They are level 4, which means they do not have their 3rd member, but they are still carrying a Panzerschreck. And these riflemen just kind of capping around up here. And you can see he's really got deep control of this right-hand side of the map, as well as having the 2 juicy cap points here on the left-hand side. So he's kind of double-dipping here. He will have extra fuel and extra munitions because he does have sort of lopsided control over the map. Looks like Wilson's riflemen are out in the field here, experiencing a little bit of a gun battle, and nicely placed HMG team here, just kind of forcing them to take off for a little bit. I do love Wilson's Rifleman, though, especially level 5 Wilson's Rifleman. There's Bazooka Joe, one of my favorite units in the game. Anyhow, looking around, we'll see that very quick to place a mine here. Very smart. He understands that pretty much there are only 3 ways to cross over from left to right if you have massive infantry on the left-hand side, which is going to be this top spot in front of the base, which, you know, is going to be popular. Bottom spot in front of the base, not popular at all, because we've got a couple of machine gun nests here and armies here and that sort of thing. And then, of course, the middle, which is probably the most popular if you're going to cross back and forth. So mining that up, always a good idea. Meanwhile, we'll see that Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers are they're eyeballing these cap points. He knows that, well, if we're going to be taking left and right, I really should own these cap points. But of course, Inverse is going to be giving him a little bit of pushback on trying to cap those points. Meanwhile, we see a good spread of units here. You'll notice no bunching up or anything like that. Kind of, you know, just spread out control over the whole map. Supply yard going up right away, not stopping to get bars or anything like that. Fuel going straight into supply. A little bit of a firefight here, but not too much going on. Both players being, you know, pretty conservative. Well, what am I saying? Definitely not Inverse. He just grabbed the whole map and is now sitting on top of it. But nobody's too eager to fight at the moment is what I was getting at. We'll see here. Supply yard just finished, and we'll take a look, and you see he does have 64 fuel, 60 munitions, 100 manpower, and bam, he's going to go straight into his motor pool. Now, let me take a moment here to look over the abilities. You'll see pretty much these 4 abilities on the right are standard for any armor player. You're always going to want HVAP, you're always going to want self-repair, Calliope, and Pershing, and really the 5th one is kind of up to your playstyle. I see a lot of people preferring to get Armored Bounty, which gives you money back when you kill things with vehicles. But you'll see here that Inverse prefers Allied War Machine, and we'll see if you can get that off. That, of course, if you fire that off right before you lose a regular armored vehicle or lightly armored vehicle, you'll get a free one in return. So kind of like an attrition style thing, but for vehicles. Meanwhile, we do have a Grenadier motorcycle coming out. Interesting choice this late in the game. There's really no use for it at the moment. I guess he just kind of wants to scout around, maybe, you know, throw some grenades and that sort of thing. This would be a great position here to toss a grenade over the over the hedgerow, perhaps, but Inverse is well aware of that. Maybe just looking to put some pressure on the infantry that are around here, or just scouting even. Looks like he's getting a good picture of the base here. Probably had enough sight to see that motor pool, and it's just kind of back and back out. So, you know, to each his own. I think it's a little late for that kind of a bike right now, but, you know, we'll see. Could be good. Meanwhile, Inverse does have Flame Engineers out here with his Riflemen, just kind of standing off in the middle here, and of course, making good use of this Minesweeper Detection Radius army item. He was quick to upgrade the second set of Engineers with Minesweepers, and basically with the 50% increase in radius, you can pretty much see any mines on the map right now. So, right away, we'll see here he's got this very first Greyhound out, and just went and spent all of his munitions getting the armored skirts and the 50 caliber machine gun. So putting a lot into that, very common tactic. And again, mining up this center area. He knows that this road is pretty much the only channel connecting everything all together. Just going to mine that all up. Greyhound moving out, and we'll see where this is all going to go here. I haven't really taken too much of a look up here at Alfons Urbane, but you'll see that he was quick to get a pack. That was his first thing out of his Krieg barracks here, so you know, we do have potential there for pack countering Greyhound, or for Greyhound countering pack, honestly, because the mobility of the Greyhound often does really well against that. And just about to get up his 50 cal, and you'll see 50 cal doing a little bit of damage, but taking a Panzer Schreck right to the face from these Berger's Panzer Pioneers, and going to have to retreat, and unfortunately he's going to retreat right across this mine. Luckily, it doesn't damage his engine or anything like that, and he is able to get out of there on time, but could have taken a little bit of damage. Alphonse quick to fire off recoup losses as well. And I'm not really sure where these where these riflemen were coming from. It looks like they stabbed a little bit deep into territory here and then retreated across the whole army. I didn't quite see where they were going at the time. Putting a little bit more mid pressure out here. Wilson's riflemen kind of poking around the corner, although taking 2 casualties. These upped Volksgrenadiers are, you know, had a pretty good firing position, especially with this HMG team backing them up. Ever the good player, he's very quick to repair his wounded Greyhound and get the most out of it. Top players, especially guys like Inverse, you will rarely see them just throw away something as important as an upgraded Greyhound. You'll see him just continue to get lots of use out of that throughout this game. Meanwhile, let's just take another look at the overhead map. You'll see really good map control here. Honestly, if there's one thing I'm going to just criticize Alphonse about, is that he really never challenges these positions too hard. As you can see, they're very lightly defended. but it's enough of a defense to kind of act as a farce, and as a result, you know, he would have to send more than just a single engineer out here if he was ever going to cap that. We'll see the triage center just finished here, and looks like we've got bar upgrade just finished as well. But you can see just light defense up here, but it's enough to kind of scare off engineers and things like that, and I really would like to see Alfons identify the fact that this is exactly the game that Inverse wants at this point. Inverse wants total control over the right, and he wants the fighting to be happening here. It's in his best interest to have all of the most intense fighting happening around this victory point here, because it doesn't matter if he captures it or not, but it certainly will distract everybody from looking at the other side of the map. You can see a little bit of this back and forth fighting, really kind of bottlenecking him here. It looks like he's not even comfortable enough to leave out there because there's so much focus fire going on. Inverse again, putting forward pressure. He doesn't need to win these fights. He just wants to keep the fighting in this half of the map. Looks like Wilson's Rifleman now coming back to get in on some of the pressure here. This Greyhound poked up there, maybe even got a kill, but looks like the Blitz anti-tank gun took a pot shot at it, did some serious damage. He's going to back it up, and you'll see that he has such good interconnection between his units that no problems whatsoever getting the repairs out there that are needed. Once again, just capping these cap points. Very confident that he could lose any of these. It doesn't matter. He just needs to cap them to you know, keep pressure on Alfons on this side of the map. Still some light defenses up here. Nothing too amazing. Meanwhile, just kind of looking at everything coming out here, we'll see that he does have his own anti-tank gun. I think this is largely just a, you know, just a defense mechanism. He just knows that there's a chance of Pumas and Stugs and things like that. So just going to get that out there. And did he just cancel that? Looks like he canceled it and instead went for a weapon support center. So realizing that perhaps there's no need, he wants to deal with the large amount of HMG teams that are out here. And probably going to go for snipers, maybe his own HMG team, just to kind of hold people off. So we'll see where all that's going. At the meantime, let me take a look around here for Alfons Urbane and make sure that everything's going well for him. Campcraft's center up, so we'll have to see if he's planning. At this point, it looks like he's definitely planning on just upgrading infantry and probably just going to go for huge infantry. I haven't taken a moment, actually, to look at Alfons. Let's do that right now and see what he's got for commander abilities. Finally pushing out here, capping some of these points. Recoup losses, that's pretty standard for defense. Contracted reinforcements, which gives you a bunch of pioneers that you can build 88s with, basically, amongst a lot of other things. For the Fatherland, another great infantry ability, just kind of gives them lots of buffs. Aggressive defense, again, another good buffing infantry ability, and of course reactive artillery, just to give you a punch when you need to do some extra damage there. So pretty good mix of defense abilities there. Meanwhile,